All right, let's talk about borders. Importance of having a very strong border. Mo kí èèyàn wa tí ẹ ti fi darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. Ká kọ́ fi catch up kó tó di pé a máa wọ bẹ́ẹ̀dì lọ. They were very important. They were very unique. Kí ló dé tí àwọn European countries tí wọ́n secure border wọn, but lọ́dọ̀ tiwa ó wà difficult láti secure border wa. Kí ló fà á? Tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun nìyẹn ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. So mo kí èèyàn wa káàkiri. Mo kí wa pẹ́ kálẹ́. Ẹ dẹ̀ káàbọ̀ sí orí Koiki Media. A lo software, so we're running from the mobile phone. So a very good evening and welcome to the late night conversation. The importance of having a very strong borders. Why do we need a very strong borders? Òun ni mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ní àṣálẹ́. So mo kí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣì wà awake, tẹ́ ẹ ti sùn. Aago 12 ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ lọ lù. So it's still Saturday in UK. It's still Saturday in America. It's Sunday already in New Zealand and many other countries around the globe. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Bí ẹ ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, èyí tí ẹ̀yin lè ṣe ni pé kí ẹ bá wa share program yẹn so that àwọn tí wọ́n wà aware pé we are live, àwọn náà lè jàǹfààní ẹ̀. Because that is the beauty of the social media. As soon as you're coming into the broadcast, you also invite others to come and join. Ọjọ́ mẹ́ta tí a ti fi phone ṣe broadcast without the software. Mo mọ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lálẹ́ yìí. Because sometimes you keep testing all our device like to make sure pé ó ṣì ń ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa. So mo kẹ́yìn tí ẹ ti ń wọlé. Bí ẹ ṣe ń wọlé yẹn náà, ẹ kálẹ́ Scars Gold, ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Bishop Adesina, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti sùn, ẹ kálẹ́ o. The importance of borders. When you hear my name is where you should even pass and say, please, The importance of having a very strong borders. Why do we need to have a very strong borders? Kí ló dé tí UK ṣe ń protect the borders wọn? And why do we also need to think in that direction? Is it possible to have a country that doesn't have a strong borders? Just briefly, depending on how my strength will take us. So mo ṣe ń lo phone so that when I get tired, I can just end it. Mo kí Ọlákúnlé kálẹ́. When we talk about the borders, it's a very important topic. Borders. What is the meaning of borders? And why do we need to talk about it? Do we have a very good border? And kí ni meaning tá bá sọ pé border? Bravo, Oscar, Romeo, Delta, Echo, Romeo. Anytime you hear the word border, what does it mean? Do we have a porous border? or do we have borders that are fully working? This is what we just want to talk about. So actually, I need day 60. I hope I'm right. Yeah, day 60. Yeah. So that means in the last 60 days, we have been running an online, offline rally. Nobody has been killed, at least nobody has been detained. No police has been able to use water cannon on us. So all these are very good. At least something different from what we have done for a very long time. So táwọn kan bá ní irú rally wo lẹ ń ṣe, ẹ sọ fún wọn pé the rally has been able to protect our people from the Nigerian security. We know what they can do. We saw it recently with what they've done with Omoyele Sowore. So that is the beauty of having a rally that doesn't involve us being killed. So there was a massive protest in London today, lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Palestinian. So let's see if we can also start. I want to use a mobile phone throughout so that I can just have everything. So we might not have some of our platform on, and hopefully that way next time I want to why join one to join one. So a very good evening and welcome to the transmission. Ekale. On the TikTok, we're live. We're live also on the Twitter, which is the video, not the Twitter space. We've actually stopped running our MixLR until further notice, since there is not enough revenue to use to run it. So Moki, and a very, very good evening and welcome to the late night transmission. Koiki Media is an online media that works back to back, promoting the reason why Yoruba needs to exit the union. You don't have to agree with me, and I don't pray you agree with me, because not everybody will align and agree with you anyway. But do we have a border that works? Kí ló ń pè ní border? Tó bá gbéra láti Èkó tó ń lọ sí Benin Republic, o kò lè pa gidi wọ Benin, o lè pa gidi wọ Togo, o lè pa gidi wọ any African countries. You need to go through their borders. And the question is, do we have the border that protects us? As you're going to bed now, many of us at home, is about 11:30 in the southwest part of Nigeria. Can you literally guarantee that while you are sleeping, your borders is protected? The reason that many of these atrocities lately in most part of Nigeria is because we have a very, very porous borders. And the border to share. And although they are protected, they've left the borders open. So that means láti different parts of the world don't want to Nigeria. I think if I'm right, many years back, many years, not recently, I gbọ́ pé submarine kan wá sí Lagos State. And after many weeks under the water, they left and they told us that they were there. When you talk about the borders, you think it's just about people that come through your forest. But many things is happening in Nigeria that sometimes you ask yourself, ṣé ìlú yìí ó lè protect wa, even in a situation where another country wants to attack Nigeria. Should Nigeria really protect her? These are questions that need, a lot of answers. But I'm not sure we can get those answers because Nigerians are not ready for the truth. Nigerians prefer how the situation is right now because favor of the way Nigeria is right now, our criminals. All my cameras are set like this, so I'm not moving like this. The only time I'm going to look here is when I'm looking at my laptop, where we will be using as our, back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 mobile phones that are streaming globally. We don't need any NCC license. That is the power of the social media. I can sit here and I can send my message and you can pick it up and you can disagree. But no matter how you disagree, our campaigners for the self-determination, at some point, your brain will tell you that, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to tell you, Moki Brami, Omoka, Kende, Moki Temitayo. So it's going to be interactive. I will leave this phone on. That means we're not live on Instagram in case Tabare and Tofik will later. So at the moment, we have enough transmission. Moki, Ben, Mr. Adetola, no one can disagree with the truth. One disagree because nígbà tí mo wálé ní 2021, which is about 4 years ago, complaint kan tí mo bá nígbà tí mo dọ́dọ̀ olóyè, even as we were asking for self-determination, there was also a lot of security threat within Yoruba land. Tàbá dẹ̀ rántí ìgbà yẹn olóyè ń palẹ̀mọ́ tó fi lọ sí Ìgangan. This was in January, I remember. And one of the problems that Oloye was tackling was the insecurity in the land. We have problems. I'm going to speak in English and Yoruba. We have enough problems that the system, the country, Nigeria, was unable to tackle. One of the biggest problems was the insecurity, not just in Nigeria, but across the southwest part of what is called Nigeria, Tapweni, Ile Yoruba. And it is still very sad that after 4 years, Mokia brother mi Akalago TV, gbogbo tí a present nígbà yẹn nípa pé kò sí ètò ààbò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. This was in 2021, àti wà ní 2025. Mo kí màmá tó bí mi lọ́wọ́ tó yọ̀ǹda mi pé no matter what, this is what I've decided I want to do. Many people are enjoying their lives now, and they are not worried about Intonshele Nile Yoruba. And you can't blame them. Mr. Dedeyini, well done, sir. Tell Yoruba not to sell the land and properties to the Igbos. It's too late. They've already sold the land. Telling them not to sell the land is too late. What we should be telling them now is to support the right to self-determination and dissolve the union peacefully, hopefully. So the bands of Bika in discussion on this, they've sold all the lands. Potentially, we have a lot of evidence that we have kept for future reference. But because many people are distracted with the life that we are living today, the life is so busy, especially when we have majority of our people that are living below $2. An average Yoruba person living in city, $2 is about 3,000 naira. We are 60 million, we are more than 60 million. And I agree with that as well. Let's cap it at 70 million. Let's just cap it at 70 million. We can't have a TikTok. Out of that 70 million Yoruba people, who are in poverty level, because we're middle class, what we have is the rich people that are very minority, that are very tiny proportion within the society. Tibani, we're 70 million. Nínú 70 million yẹn, èèyàn mélòó lẹ́yìn rò pé they are living below $2. Èèyàn mélòó lẹ́yìn rà agree pẹ̀lú mi, ẹ fún mi sínú comment section. I've already got the line open. Tabarin to interact. It's just a Saturday, it's a very quiet one. It's not a full broadcast, but it's also an education and also the discussion. 60 days, Latinche campaign for Rally. Rally máa yàtọ̀ síra wọn. The rally tá a ṣe nísìn, a gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti arrest anybody, a dẹ̀ gbọ́ pé nìkankan kú. Even all the rallies we've done in the past, nobody can point out that Adanuru, Abankanje, and all that. Even though àwọn tó ń ṣe election, àwọn gan ni wọ́n dàlúrú. We know that because there's evidence based that any election within Nigeria is either key, discharge of weapons, and all many things that played out during that. But let's focus again on the real topic, which is the borders. I love to go different ways during my broadcast so that I want your mind to be here, because a lot of things are happening. People are watching the Big Brothers. I've seen some of the highlights. It's good for those that are making the money out of it. It's good for the businesses that are supporting such ventures. And the future Yoruba government would also want business to flow. But I'm sorry, 70 million Yoruba people, and I believe that about 50 million are living in abject poverty. And out of that 50 million, that means that the same people that are under imminent threat because of the loose borders standing across Yoruba land. We have borders that are completely, somebody said honestly, 60 million out of the are living in abject poverty, okay? So that means even my numbers is not very good. So should we work with the 60 million? Hello, I agree. We have 70 million Yoruba people. In abject poverty. And in Tobatili, not 3,000 naira on a daily basis. Should we even say 3,000 in the morning, 3,000 in the afternoon, or carpet with 3,000? Let's leave it at 3,000. It's about $2. Because $1 is 1,500. Mook of Fisile Be, Mook Ojubelo be 50 naira. In your melu, Nile Yoruba lane in sin, lonely access 3K. She Ali who county 60 million Yoruba people to one in poverty level. See what they need 3,000. And I'm not talking about we only 3,000 any in Kumani Lola. Monday to Friday, Obodoli your 3,000 la counter Kofironje go they were okay. And you multiply that by 365 days. If you have not, or let me put it this way, tell Basini brackety with Lojujumo Fujome money 3,000 naira. Timoli no. To they multiply lo si oṣù kan to fi 12 months. You are also in the bracket of poverty. Ṣé kí n repeat it? I try láti sọ Yorùbá kó lè yé wa dáadáa. Even though I want to speak English, but màá sọ Yorùbá. Tó bá jí láàárọ̀ ọ̀la Sunday, o gbọ́dọ̀ ní 3,000 naira nídìí ilé ẹ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé tó bá tún di Monday, o gbọ́dọ̀ ní another 3,000. Sọ̀la ní Sunday, so we start with Sunday. Tó bá tún di Monday, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ní 3,000. Tó bá di Tuesday, you must also have 3,000. Tó bá di Wednesday, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ní 3,000 naira. Tó bá di Thursday, ẹ tún gbọ́dọ̀ ní another 3,000 naira. Tó bá di Friday, you must have another 3,000 naira. Tó bá di Saturday, you have another 3,000 naira. Títí tó máa fi dé another next week Sunday. Mo kí ẹ Johnson. 50% are living in abject poverty, 10% are living large, and the rest are in between, meaning people with families abroad, politicians are the ones supporting our people at home. Now, what are the reasons tí àwọn èèyàn wa ṣe ń struggle láti rí 3,000 naira? Kí ni reason tí 3,000 ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ owó tó pọ̀ fún ẹni tó wà nílé tó gbọ́dọ̀ ní? Ẹ má bínú, Mr. Ṣẹ́gun. Many people doesn't have 3,000 naira daily to spend. Why? Kí ni reason? Kí ló fà tí àwọn èèyàn wa nílé wọn ní 3,000 tó lè ná láàárọ̀ ọ̀la tó bá dẹ̀ tó di Monday? And I'm not talking about pé kò ní 100,000 nísìn. I am talking about having 3,000 naira, because ẹni tó 100,000 nísìn ó ti ní kan tó fi ṣe, bí ó fi ra air condition, bí ó fi ra fan, bí ó fi ra this. No, ìyẹn kọ́ là ń sọ. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ lè sọ pé ní ojoojúmọ́ ayé yín o tọ́lọ́jọ́ máa fi dé, because we're all gonna die. I always say it because people think that death èntí yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ máa bẹ̀rù ni, èntí yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ ni. Ọlọ́run ló mọjọ́ tí gbogbo wa máa kú, bọ̀ pé ò ní kú yẹn irọ́ ló pa. So gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ ń bẹ̀rù yẹn, ikú wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wọn báyìí tó ń tọ́jú ń sùn tọ́jọ́ ń jí. Àṣé Adéogbè, the former minister lábẹ́ Buhari, 78 years old, tìgbà pọ́n wá sáyé. Mo ní sọ̀rọ̀ nípa òkú, ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́n foríjì yẹn, èmi kọ́ ni máa sọ yẹn. Iṣẹ́ tó bá ṣe ní kóhun àti ibikíbi tó bá ń lọ ní spirit ẹ̀. So bí kanú wa náà ṣe máa sùn tó máa di pé àárọ̀ ọ̀la ó lè jẹ́ plane accident, ó lè jẹ́ inú omi ló máa jábọ́ sí, ó lè jẹ́ anything can happen. So èyí dẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rù pé ẹ fi kú, àfi kú, but we have, ṣé a ti agree, we have 60 million Yoruba people that are dying on a daily basis because we only survive. One need the 3,000 naira every blessed day. 3,000 naira every day. Tó bá rí 3,000 naira, probability pé ẹ̀mí tó wà lára wọn tó bá máa fi pé 3 days, 4 days, ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ lè bọ̀. Because tó bá róúnjẹ jẹ, tó rọ omi mu, àìtí sọ̀rọ̀ medical o. Kí ló ń fa gbogbo kìíní? What is the reason why we are struggling to have Yoruba people? Àwa tí wọ́n ní àwa civilized. Àárọ̀ ìtànṣe program. Our advanced. Our knowledgeable, a ní ilẹ̀, a ní resources, but àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ lè rí 3,000 naira on a daily basis. Kí ló ń fà? Then, kí ni solution? I'm not talking to those that disagree pé kí Nàìjíríà kó má pín. Mo kí ẹ Àjàní Àjàlá, mo kí gbọ́ ẹ ti Libya. Kí ló ń fà? Kí ni tó ń fà tí àwọn èèyàn wọ́n lè rí 3,000 naira. Kódà àwọn tó ń jókòó sórí TikTok tó fẹ́ pawó lórí TikTok ò bá ṣìdí sílẹ̀ ò bá má ṣìdí sílẹ̀ èlò ni wọ́n fi san fún ẹ tó máa make up 3,000 naira yẹn every blessed day. Gbogbo gift tó bá ń fún wa lórí TikTok àbórí YouTube. Tàbá ní ká yọ àwọn tó ń send owó wọlé tó fi subsidize it. Let me put it that way, not substitute. Diaspora ló subsidize àwọn tó wà nílé. Tàbá cut out the diaspora kúrò lára Nigeria, the 60 million people are dead completely. Mr. Adewale, it is below the minimum wage. 3,000 naira doesn't even regularly, sometimes below. 3K is equivalent to 90,000 naira a month. Okay, I love this kind of engagement because I always say, let us engage. That is the only way in Taiwan, Sonipa can divide Nigeria. So what about me break it down? So about me share in a week, okay, mo le share for me. This 3, 6, another 6, or the 12, another 6, 18, 21. So that's 21K in a week. Then our boss say, like when you see, our boss about 90,000. It is not even up to the average salary. Mr. Taiwo Banusoni, 50% are living in abject poverty. Okay. Moki, Mr. Wolex, seems the people back there are not interested in exiting Nigeria. Yes, 21,000. So, it was to Wanile, to Mbuko Iki Media, or disagree pẹ̀lú kí Nigeria could divide. Share only 21,000 naira every week. Ọ̀kadà ló ń gùn ni, organizer ni ẹni, epo pupa ló ń tà ni, ó ń jalè ni, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà, ó ń ṣaṣẹ́wó ni, ó ń ṣe jìgélò, ṣáwọn ọkùnrin náà máa ń ṣe jìgélò àbí kí lẹ́ ń pè, ó ń tán jẹ ni, ó ń fọbọ́ ni, ọmọ ní mọ́tò ni ẹni, bus conductor ni ẹni, ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní government office. Ṣé o lè sọ fún mi nísìn pé má wọrí Koiki èmi lè rí 21,000 naira every week kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ dín fún 300. I am not talking about pé kò rí 21,000 yẹn or kò rí 3, if whichever one you want to take. If you want to break it down, it's 3,000 naira on a daily basis. Tabako papọ̀ ó di 21,000 ní ọ̀sẹ̀. Tabako papọ̀ ní oṣù ó di 19,000. Má sọ fún mi pé oṣù kan wà ó máa mísẹ̀ ó sí nínú bracket yẹn náà nìyẹn. Oh sorry, ó wà nínú bracket yẹn nìyẹn because ẹlòmíì lè rò pé tóun bá rí 1 million naira nísìn ó solve problem tí mò ń sọ yìí. But ó ti gbà wípé 1 million yẹn tó wà lọ́wọ́ òun either is your own personal money or owó tó fún ẹ pé kó lọ fi ṣiṣẹ́. I am not talking about that. I am talking about owó tó kù lọ́wọ́ ẹ tó máa fi jẹun tó jẹ́ your personal money. Ṣé o lè confirm bó ṣe ń wò mí lálẹ́ tó ṣe ń gbọ́ mi pé wàá máa rí 90,000 naira every month for 365 days? That is 12 months. Láti àti wà ní August nísìn. That means pé ní January ọdún yìí ó ti rí 90,000 naira. Ní February ó ti rí 90,000 naira. Má mísẹ̀ o, má sọ fún mi pé ní March ó rí 90,000 naira. O gbọ́dọ̀ rí. Mr. Samuel Idowuni, Nigeria must break. Okay. March, 90,000. April, 90,000. May, 90,000. June, 90,000. July, 90,000. Atiwani, the 8th month of this year, 90,000. ní gbogbo àwọn 60 million ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà nílé nínú 70 million tá sọ lẹ́ǹkan, ṣé ó wà lára àwọn tó ti rí 90,000 yẹn láti January títí di August? Tó bá wà lára bracket yẹn, o lè bluff ẹ pé you're okay, Nigeria ní láti pín. But I know that you are also in that bracket. Even pẹ̀lú tó fi subsidize láti ta àwọn diaspora tó jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́, tó jẹ́ colleagues ẹ, tó jẹ́ ẹni tí òun tún rọ́wọ́ mú díẹ̀, kò ṣe pé òun náà rọ́wọ́ mú púpọ̀, òun náà struggle bóyá láàrin in between 120,000 naira tó òun rí every month, ó ti yọ 90 tiẹ̀ sápò, òun náà gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kébí pa family ẹ̀, ó wá kù èlé lórí ẹ̀, èlé yẹn ló wá fi ń ṣe giveaway, màá fún wọn ní 1,000, màá fún wọn ní 500. Somebody says, mind you, if the 3,000 naira per day is only for one person, you are a family man, multiply that by problem. That is for one person. Let me so pé ìwọ ìyàwó àtọmọ, because 3,000 naira lè yọ ìmọ̀ kò lè yọ family of 2, ọkọ ìyàwó àtọmọ méjì. So ilé tá ń ṣírò yìí kò ń ṣe fún family o, individual ni o. So if you're a family of 4, we gbọ́dọ̀ times it by 4. If you're a family of 2, we gbọ́dọ̀ multiply it by 2. Bí àwọn àti girlfriend ẹlẹ́jọ́ ń gbé nínú ilé. One of the reasons why we are struggling is because we have a problem with the border. That is one of the biggest problems. And I don't think the more we remain in Nigeria, we can solve the problem of the borders. Let's solve it. Kò sí prayer tó ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ ní gbogbo inú Nigeria nísìn. There's a lot of prayer going on in Nigeria that I'm aware of. I'm not mentioning any churches so that Kemal Mumigbe church kan la dárúkọ, mọ́ṣáláṣí kan la dárúkọ. All these prayers does not protect your borders. Because prayer kọ́ ló fi ń protect the borders. Tó bá jẹ́ pé àdúrà ló fi ń defend the border. Problem tó exist nísìn á ti wà resolve. Ní wà ní conversation ilé mi. So èyí tí prayer ti lè stop it, then that means pé prayer kọ́ ló fẹ́ resolve problem yẹn. Humans ló fẹ́ resolve it. And as long as we have that border that is open to every dick and harry, ẹni tó kọ̀ gbéra láti Niger, a kọ̀ work láti Niger because Niger súnmọ́ ilẹ̀ Haúsá, a fẹsẹ̀ rìn wọlé. Even Israel and Saudi Arabia are not praying to solve their borders issues. Now, if you are one of those that say, "Oh, fẹ́ kí Nigeria kó pín," how do we solve this problem of our 60 million Yoruba people? Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ resolve problem yẹn? And we are calmed down now pẹ̀lú Tinubu. For those of you that still say Jagaban, Atiwani, calm down. What do I mean by that? This government is complete. The campaign trail is already on the table. So they're not talking about Boshima solve problem, sorry. Boshifi Padawa again, lower after missing. And I'm sure everybody agrees with that. Muki, our grandma Joke Boduni, Kalema. All right, let's go back to the word border.
Border.
A line separating two countries. Ila. Tafe Fayo. a ní àní bá àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù ṣe àmọ́ a fẹ́ fi ìlà. I think this is what I saw mostly when I was traveling in between the borders. I was quite surprised that is what they're using. What I noticed is that all the borders I travel past, the image in one look, and I keep asking, I love to do experiments when I'm talking. That's only young. When I was traveling, I was in Kiloko Bisona by Ogbe Gisona, then Okuna Wani and Rimeje. So this is all the borders I saw. The border post. How can they solve the problem? Báwo ni the tí mọ́tò bá ń bọ̀, wọ́n á ní kí mọ́tò yẹn dúró, wọ́n á ní kó ṣí boot, wá ṣẹ̀ wá ṣígi yẹn báyìí. Mọ́tò tó bá fẹ́ dúró, wá fi gi, wá fi gbá bọ́ọ̀dì ẹ̀, ìyẹn láàrin Èkó nìyẹn. Wọ́n láàrin bọ́dà igi báyìí lásán lọ gbé síbẹ̀. Lóòótọ́ àwọn èèyàn máa nì. When we have a country that is fully functioning, ní láti fi igi síbẹ̀. They really need èèyàn púpọ̀ láti máa nì níbi tí ilé ayé ti délé ní nísìn. Let me quickly, I hope I can find that. I posted something on my timeline today. There's some changes coming up between the UK and the European Union. I'm going to play a video, but mo kàn fẹ́ lọ mú tí bá rí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn mú jáde. Because I have promised me on this show anymore, we stop playing videos. But if you're on my Facebook, you probably have come across it. In October this year, one of the key to take effect the last year, November. You will pass through most of our land borders with 200 naira, and it is confirmed. That is a security risk there. It's true. Most of those immigration officers and the security in all the borders, and I'm not talking about one border now, I'm talking about the border to Wole Yoruba. How secure do you think these borders are? How secure? Do you think it's secured? And how secure is it? Ṣé a lè guarantee pé border yẹn ó secure? We can go to bed àti wà ní day 61 èdè ní ọjọ́ kẹwàá. A lot of people send a message and say ìgbà tí mo ní mo fẹ́ mọ kíni mí ní 2025. A lot of correction came, but a dúpẹ́ fún gbogbo yín tí ẹ fi ohùn ránṣẹ́ sí mi. I am not doing any voice note because I'm not going to stay long on this broadcast. Mo kàn fẹ́ fi ṣe kó tó di pé mo lọ sùn ni. Ìdí tí ebi ṣe ń pa àwọn èèyàn wa lénìí ní Nàìjíríà ó ní pé in tó lè fún àwọn èèyàn wa ní survival kit, border tí wọ́n open, on threaten lifestyle, on threaten economic welfare and security of our people. And the more tabak pesi, the more they will become more stable. What is stable? Àwọn tá à ń fẹ́ bá fa wàhálà, they are already coming in disguise. We saw it during the COVID. Bó ṣe ń wọlé, wọ́n wọlé. Majority àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń wọlé yẹn wọ̀ jáde. And our moral training tí wọ́n ní láti fi bá wa jà. Táwa bá tẹ̀sán pàfẹ́ jà. We don't know the kind of training that they have. They are well trained from maybe tó ti kó wọn wá. And the moment they come in, they become a threat to us. Àwọn ìlú tó tẹ̀ jẹ́ ìlú bí UK tí mo fi ṣe example ní àná, they are worried about their borders. Home Office. The Home Office, like I said in the morning, we are the lead United Kingdom government department for immigration, passport, crime, policing, homeland security, and protecting vulnerable people. Baba Adeni, Nigeria must dissolve because this country is no longer working since the beginning. For example, see the way K1 is doing in the airport. I'm just seeing something posted on the Twitter that there's a leaked audio of K1 the Ultimate allegedly threatening the owner of the Valley Jet for causing him a national embarrassment. Twitter. And this has been posted about just 9:45. My name is Olamiko Ike. I saw on Nepal borders. So let's come back to the Home Office. Okay. Let us continue to say to those that disagree with us that we are playing with our lives. And like I said, Mori news the sister wa kan mo te mo rí àárọ̀ àná mo ṣe wọ́n ní she died. I always say we should not be scared of death. We should be prepared to defend our land with everything that we want. Everything. But I pray that we will have the strength. Mo fẹ́ morúkọ woman yẹn wá kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ́wọ̀n. Wọ́n pè wọ́n ní Ìyá Ìmọ̀ Yorùbá. She has a lot of traffic on her TikTok. I checked her page out this morning. First time I'm coming across her. So we should never be scared of death. Rather, we should be prepared to do Am I distracted by many things that is happening? What matters to us now is how do we save those that don't have the strength, like the 60 million Yoruba people. This was posted 12 hours ago. That means Monterrey, Nibati, Ashi program at 4 o'clock, Loruano. And this is coming from the UK Prime Minister. Mari tweeted, they say, so that I go back to Twitter, Mari. But sometimes this fan is making too much noise. And I didn't see this before Kituja, the professor of the borders. I didn't see this. Our plan, this is the UK Prime Minister, Lonsoro Nisin. Our plan for change is restoring order to our immigration system and securing our borders. Our plans, Moki, commenting on Tetewa. Mr. Wolex, Obas are aligned with one Nigeria, it is obvious. Moki Bubo Intewa Lori Joko. If we monitor comment on Walati Beheni. I'm talking about the borders. Yoruba people got to get back their lost identity, Mr. Wolex. Fulani has been forced into Nigeria ethnicity. That is a potent danger. We might have to go with the violent option of exiting. Insecurity is a major contributor to the food scarcity and hunger. I will pin on that for now. I love that part. Kwamwan is a very big fool, Mr. Wolex. He ought not to have behaved like that. Eshegoni, quite a lot of comments. Mokiba Bawabiodun. No one Nigeria, there wasn't a Nigeria in the first place. There is nothing good that can come out of Nigeria. The indigenous people better realize that now. Safety domain, I just picked up on your comment as well. Mind you, the 3,000 naira per day is only for one person. Okay, let's post the link. If you're a family man, you have to multiply that by the number of the people in your household. You have 3,000. Mr. Taiwo Banuso, because we're not on the same, so comment here, one a different platform because I lose software. Only politicians or police taking bribe, custom officer, and agbero can get such weekly. Because I realized when I was in Lagos, each of our agbero, that is not a civilized country anymore. Even in terms of Lagos State, by now, Kojeki agbero mugidani leko, koa no downfall nítorí pé kò fún ní owó. Definitely, amobito wen lo sodo Sanwo-Olu. Reason táwọn olóṣèlú ṣe jọ̀wọ́lẹ̀ fún àwọn road transportation system ó ní pé wọ́n need wọn for their dirty work as election is coming right now. So in touch ni pé wọ́n ti fún lukaluku ní junction to junction. So junction in me, because ibi tí mo lọ àwọn area tí mo lọ mo ká àwọn ọ̀kadà kankan tó wà níbẹ̀. I'm not going to give too much information. Àdúgbò mi ọ̀kadà bí 300, àdúgbò mi 100. So ó léye tí olúkálùkù tó fi ń fún wọn pé àdúgbò tiẹ̀ à fún ẹ ní junction yẹn. But tó bá ń gba X amount, ìwọ náà máa mú díẹ̀ wá fún wa nínú ẹ̀. Ibẹ̀ kan la ṣe fẹ́ lò. Even though that is also a border threat, because many àwọn tó ń gun ọ̀kadà tí mo rí níwọ̀nba àwọn tí mo check, hardly ni mo fi rí Yorùbá kankan, even in Lagos State. That is a security threat that many of you are joking with. Moki Olakunle, Moki Chibude Emmanuel, only we the Biafrans are working on protecting our land. Yoruba nation must rise up and defend their land from the Fulani herdsmen. Okay, and even the Igbos. But yes, we have to defend it from the Fulanis. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I've been following Simon Ekpa's case. I have I have one of your brother that does updates on Simon Ekpa's case, and at some point I'll talk on it when I have information to give. But we monitor case Simon Ekpa Dada. Let's come back to the borders, because that is a topic, and I want to really stick to that topic without moving too much out of it. So gbogbo bí tí bá yà sí orí border yẹn náà ni mo ṣe fẹ́ padà sí. Mo kẹ́ ìtawà lórí TikTok, ẹ bá mi share programming. Kí ló dé tí UK government ṣe wà worried nípa border wọn? Ta ló mọ reason tí UK government táwọn ṣe wà worried pé border wa yo, border wa yo. Why are they worried? Why is the UK government? Kí ni nǹkan tó ń rí? Ṣé igi ló máa ń kó sọ́nà ní border ti UK? Whether definitely not at the airport, bí a tó bá fi gborí omi wọlé, àwọn fi gba land border wọlé. Ṣé igi ló máa ń kó síbẹ̀? Mako Gisono. Our plan for change is restoring order to our immigration. Our plan for change is restoring order to our immigration system. Now, kí ni wọ́n pè ní immigration? A ti sọ nípa border, meaning it. Because these two work together. Tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ border, o gbọ́dọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ immigration. Baba Alex ni Baba Kitoye must fly the Yoruba nation flag. He has to be strongly fortified with more support, which I also agree. Baba needs to declare Yoruba nation, as quickly as possible, so that we can then defend the borders officially. But right now, Taiti declare Yoruba nation. How do we defend our borders? If we defend the borders here, the governors have the security votes. Under freedom of speech, your governor should be able to tell me, as a journalist, every month. Because every month, they want something whatever disclosure. Crime and overpopulation. That is why Britain is worried. I love when people engage. When we ask questions, let us engage, because if you know my learn Latin in tell enough is for me. Ìbéèrè tí mo béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan ni pé kí ni reason tí UK government ṣe fẹ́ defend the border wọn? Wọ́n ní wọ́n wà worried about overpopulation. Kí ló dé táwa wà worried àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá? Why are we not worried? Now, mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa immigration, because most of the time, tá bá ní a fẹ́ kúrò ní Nigeria, many people will start coming with different things. Tẹ́ bá ti rí àwọn tó bá ti wọlé lórí TikTok, bí ẹni tó wọlé nísìn, ẹni tó comment nísìn, ẹ ti mọ̀ pé lè ò lè jọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ ti definitely mọ̀ pé ilé òkè ìṣọmọ Yorùbá. Lára àwọn tí ìyá wọn gbé ìdí ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ tí Fúlàní bá sùn tó fi bí sílé ayé. Kò tó bá jọmọ Yorùbá ni, number one, orúkọ tó ń lò yẹn, orúkọ tèmi lèmi lò, mo lo picture mi, ilé kò lórúkọ ẹ̀, kò lo picture ẹ̀. So àmọ́ orí èèyàn tó jẹ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, but ara immigrant kan lélẹ̀ nísìn, a gbọ́dọ̀ dín pẹ̀lú lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Wọ́pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ara immigrant lélẹ̀ nísìn, ẹni tó comment lórí TikTok yìí, mo ní láti ka tó kọ síta. But in tó kọ nísìn, ó ti show pé immigrant ni kò nífẹ̀ẹ́ lẹ̀ Yorùbá. A ní kí bàbá declare kò nífẹ̀ẹ́ Yorùbá. Èèyàn kan ní ó máa wọlé by boat, kò ní wọlé by boat, ó fẹsẹ̀ rìn wọlé ni. These are the threats that you are living with. We are all living with on a daily basis. Most of them, you think that Yoruba ni wọ́n, wọ́n kì í ṣe Yorùbá. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé bàbá kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní Ìlọrin ní many months back. Ó ní Fúlàní lèmi, but mo ti gbé nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ó gbọ́ Yorùbá yẹn ju èmi gan lọ. Tẹ́ bá rí bó ṣe ń sọ Yorùbá yẹn, ó gbọ́ ju èmi gan lọ. These are the threats lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ẹni tó bá ti wá bẹ̀yẹ̀ tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́yẹn, because even tí àwọn tó agree pẹ̀lú Tinubu tó agree pẹ̀lú àwa, ọmọ Yorùbá ò gbọdọ̀ sọ pé in táwa ń ṣe yìí ó lòdì sófin lákọ̀ọ́kọ́, kò lòdì sófin. Ọmọ Yorùbá ò dẹ̀ gbọdọ̀ wá láti wá condemn tá à ń gbé dání, even if you don't agree with it. O lè máa wò pé problem tí wọ́n nìyẹn. but in tó bá ti lè mọ́mọ́ Yorùbá condemn pé à ń jà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti protect the border wa, ẹ ti mọ̀ pé immigrant nínú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ náà wọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀yin lè máa rò pé yàn gidi ni wọ́n, ọmọ Fúlàní paraku ní gbogbo wọn, wọ́n ti mix pẹ̀lú wọn gan, but ọjọ́ iwájú ìta máa fi dí pẹ̀lú ra wa ó ń bọ̀, but ká tó dí pẹ̀lú ra wa yẹn a fẹ́ sọ àwọn ìdí, a fẹ́ gbègbè àlàáfíà ká tó kú, ẹ̀wọ̀ ìyá wa tó kú yẹn sí ìmúdá ọmọ mi wá yẹn, olé ọmọ oníyàwó ìyá ìmọ̀ Yorùbá. I always say that people can sick and come back alive, and some people can bam, you are gone. Adu Ugbe, former minister, 78 years old. Ó ráyé jẹ kó tó kú, ọmọ Benue ni, but lára ayé tó jẹ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wà lára resources tó lò. Immigrant tó wá lò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ó fi gbélé ayé tó dá. Bàbá wa Ìfẹ́ Olúwa ní, they are the ones committing atrocity in Yorùbá land. Mo sọ nídàájí pé ẹni tó ń bọ̀ láti north kò nílé tó fẹ́ gbé lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, ó dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ láti north, tó bá wá já sí motor park, tẹ́ bá wá lọ bèèrè lọ́wọ́ pé ibo ló fẹ́ lọ sùn lálẹ́ yìí, kò nílé tó fẹ́ sùn. Whereas ọmọ Yorùbá ó ń struggle bó ṣe fẹ́ raise owó ilé, ó struggle bó ṣe fẹ́ raise owó ilé tó máa fi gba ilé. Even mo báyọ̀ kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní àná, port lọ ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní Àpápá, and I think he had issues with his container, not himself. Àwọn tó fẹ́ gbé container yẹn wọlé, àwọn Igbo láti South Africa, wọ́n kó drug sínú ẹ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ìbọn bíi mélòó kan àti pistol sínú ẹ̀. Agent làwọn ó affect wọn. He lost about 48 million naira. He was telling me yesterday, wọ́n láti downsize láti bí a 3 bedroom tó ń gbé, ó dẹni tó ń gbé ní bí a bí box room àtọmọ wọn, because he's not with the wife anymore. But ẹni tó ń bọ̀ ní north àtàwọn ìyà tó ń bọ̀ bí ìran Fúlàní ilé tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí nísìn, nígbà tó bá dé àwọn ilé tó fi gbé, all they will do is wọ́n lè wà ní inú garage yẹn for the next 6 months. Ibẹ̀ lọ́mọ máa yàgbẹ́ sí, lọ́mọ máa sùn, lọ́mọ máa jí, and we don't even know who they are. These are immigrants. Tẹ́ bá lọ Ìbàdàn lọ́la, bá ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́ yìí nísìnyí, àwọn ti gbéra ní north. Again, ní border. Tó tá bá ní border ni, bó ṣe ń bọ̀ láti, okay, wọ́n ti ní ká yọ ẹ̀ṣẹ́ gan ni, ó ti ẹ̀kìn ti yọ látẹ̀ nǹkan, torí ó máa distract wa ni, ẹ̀ṣẹ́ gan ni, àtẹ̀tì rántí báyìí, kò ní rí mi kọ síbẹ̀ mọ́, a ti sọ̀kọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ sí immigrant ni, a máa dé pẹ̀lú ẹlọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú torí àsìkò, a dẹ̀ fi burn data yín too much, even though kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe sí lórí platform wa. Immigration is the movement of people into a destination country where they are not native or citizens, with the intention of settling there permanently. Ẹ lè sọ pé mi náà lọ the same thing now. Koiki, bí wọ́n náà lọ sí UK, ó lọ gbé ní UK, ìwọ náà ló sọ pé ó ti gbé ní UK fún 27 years, ìwọ náà kúrò ní ilẹ̀ kan, ó lọ sí ilẹ̀ onílẹ̀. Ṣé wàá mọ̀ yàtọ̀? Nígbà tẹ́mi fi lọ ilẹ̀ yẹn, mo lọ fi ojú mi wọ̀n ní embassy wọn l'Abuja. Ìgbà yẹn wọ́n sì máa ń ṣe interview, kò dàbí ìtẹ́ ń ṣe nísìn, ṣé drop off lẹ máa ń pè, tó yẹ pé kò máa drop gbogbo document yìí àti tó jẹ́ fake àti tó jẹ́ original, ẹ̀kọ́ òkú ti yé yín àti mo bó ṣe ń lọ. Nígbà tẹ́mi fi gba visa mi ní 1998, Abuja ni mo ti lọ gbà. Nígbà yẹn kò sí fingerprint lóòótọ́, but wọ́n gba data mi, wọ́n dẹ̀ rí mi, mo jókòó, wọ́n bi mí kí ni mo lọ ṣe. Nígbà tí mo wá dọ̀hún, mo wá sọ pé mo ò fi padà wá sílé mọ́, because èmi tí mo dídé mi ṣe ń lọ, mo ń jápa ni. Just like ìwọ náà tó sọ pé ó fẹ́ lọ kàwé, ó lọ kàwé kankan mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀, ó lọ kàwé, bọ̀ ibẹ̀ kọ́ la fẹ́ lò. But ìdí mo fẹ́ sọ ni pé nígbà tí mo wá dé UK, wọ́n mọ̀ pé migrant ni mí. ó wá take 15 years kó tó fún mi níwèé. Kí ló dé táwa ṣe wá allow Igbo kókó wọlé? Ṣé o mọ̀ pé nínú 15 years tí mo sọ yẹn, mo tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ni mo ní mo fẹ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ kankan officially, because mo ní right láti ṣiṣẹ́ ní gbogbo period yẹn. Mo ní right láti ní mo fi ra ilé, even though as at that time I ní opportunity tó pọ̀ táwọn nǹkan fi lọ wá. I need a lot of opportunity pé ká wá ra lé, but eventually a lè ra lé. Ó fi lé lọ wá. Yeah. Ìgbà yẹn kò mortgage ò dàbí nǹkan tó lé nísìn. I'm talking about the 1998/1999. Àìtẹ́tí wọ millennium tó ń pè ní 2000. But as an immigrant, UK mọ̀ pé Nigeria ni mo ti ń bọ̀. Even though báwọn lọ colonize wa, even though pé àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe kí ni lọ colonize wa, wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ fún wa pé we are Commonwealth citizens. So ó jẹ́ kó gbà mí tọwọ́ tẹsẹ̀. Arákùnrin tó bọ̀ yìí, ọmọ Nàìjíríà nìyẹn, yes, àwa la join yín papọ̀. Ẹ̀yà Yorùbá tẹ̀ tó wá da já tètè fún anyway, ìyẹn sí nínú condition tí wọ́n. Mo kọ́kọ́ láti prove ara mi, ó wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ for 15 years. Nínú 15 years yẹn, wọ́n gba fingerprint mi. But láàárọ̀ ọ̀la nísìn, ọmọ Igbo máa gbéra láti Inewi, á gbéra láti Enugu, á máa bọ̀ ní ìsàlẹ̀, á nítorí pé brọ́dà òun wà ní Alábà, á dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Ọmọ wa ìtorí àṣìjọ wa ní Nàìjíríà ni. Níjọ́ tá bá ti gba country wa, ọmọ Igbo yẹn ọ̀kọ̀ nípa gìrì máa bọ̀, kó wá pàdé igi lọ́nà, kó wá san 1,000 naira, kó ń fẹ́ wọlé. No, ó máa go through immigration. This is where a ṣe ń sọ fún èèyàn wa pé bàbá wa Ọlátúnjí ní, once we have a genuine national database in the Southwest region, we will surely know who is coming to the Southwest region. Ìta ń bèrè nìyẹn o. Lóòótọ́ àwọn tó ń bèrè restructure náà, àwọn náà sọ pé Kóìkì tá bá gba regional government, a lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, but àwọn ò tẹ̀ fi ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú entity tó ń pè Nàìjíríà mọ́. We want to exit completely. Ṣòwárí Igbo tí ó ti fẹ́ Yorùbá kò ní problem when it comes to immigration. Reason mi sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, béèrè lọ́wọ́ Igbo yẹn pé nígbà tó lọ fẹ́ òyìnbó ní Britain, wọ́n dẹ̀ pọ̀ ní Germany, àwọn Igbo pọ̀ ní, mo kàn fi wọ́n ṣàpèjúwe as the other ethnic tó wà níta. Tẹ́yìn tẹ́ máa argue pé tá bá gba Yorùbá nation, báwo la ṣe máa dí pẹ̀lú àwọn Igbo àti Yorùbá tó ti fẹ́ra wọn? Immigration issue lásán nìyẹn. Another Igbo lélẹ́yìn, eléyìí nísìn kò ń ṣe Yorùbá, because Charles ò kí ń ṣe orúkọ Yorùbá. Ẹ̀wọ̀n tó ń kọ nísìn, ṣé Igbo là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ níbí báyìí àbí Yorùbá? Tó bá dẹ̀ tó wá jẹ́ Yorùbá, ṣé ìta ń sọ níbí báyìí ẹ̀ ti rí pọ̀ náà? Kí ni mo tún pè lẹ́ǹkan yẹn? Lára àwọn ó ná ọmọkọ lòun, ọmọkọ ni mí, òun ṣe ọmọkọ. Torí tí wọ́n bá jẹ́ ọmọkọ tó rí ẹ pé ní gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ṣì dúró ti olóyè Ìgbòho, èmi sì ní number 1. Ó kì í ṣe ọmọkọ, ọmọ àlè nìyẹn, Fúlàní ló bí ẹ, torí ìyẹ́ yẹn ó gbé ìkẹ́ sílẹ̀, Fúlàní wá bá sùn, gbogbo yín la sì máa ṣe DNA lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Èyí tèmi ti ṣe pẹ̀lú Ìgbòho, ìwọ ò lè ṣe dájí ẹ̀. So ó ti ẹni sí, ó kì í ṣe ọmọ àlè nìyẹn, ọmọ àlè Yorùbá nìyẹn. Torí pé tó bá jẹ́ pọ̀ ọmọkọ nìwọ, èmi á fi UK sílẹ̀, màá wá dúró ti Ìgbòho níbi tí ọlá ń bẹ tí iná wà, àbí? So ọmọ àlè já jẹ́ kó máa lọ, ó ti dùn nígbà tá ti pè lọ́mọ àlè yẹn. Ẹ má bínú, kì í sọ̀rọ̀ àlefàṣà mọ́, but táwọn ọmọ àlè bá ti wọlé, ká tètè lé wọn lọ. Torí ìta sọ níbí báyìí ó máa distract wa lọ́jọ́ iwájú, a máa dì pẹ̀lú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sọ̀rọ̀ immigration. Ṣé rí ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe sọ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá di milk ticket? Britain ló ti kọ́kọ́ rí opportunity yẹn lò. Nígbà tó dé, àgbà wọn lálejò, wọ́n wọlé, wọ́n wá rí pé ilẹ̀ táwọn wà yìí, ilẹ̀ yìí ṣe ní àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ mùdùnmúdùn. Lọ́ ṣe wá mú àwa àti àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù, tó bá ní ẹ̀yà tó kọ́kọ́ wà educated in the whole of Africa, ẹ máa mú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà, whichever one tẹ́ bá fẹ́ pé kò sí yàtọ̀. Báwo ni ẹ̀yà tí ó wà so much enlightening? Mo fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ sister mi Arẹwà because in top post yẹn mo fẹ́ kà síta fún àwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n sí lórí ètò tá a ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí. Báwo ni irú àwọn ẹ̀yà bẹ́ẹ̀ a ṣe wà níbi tí 60 million Yorùbá people kò lè róúnjẹ jẹ on a daily basis? Ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn tí Arẹwà post ní àná ọjọ́ kejìlá wà báyìí nísìn. She posted something on her timeline and it goes like this. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ò bá Fúlàní sọ̀rọ̀. Ìgbò tí bá ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, ó gbọ́dọ̀ respect tí mò ń sọ. Àní Ìgbò ní wá sílẹ̀ wa, bọ̀ mo gbọ́dọ̀ mọ irú Ìgbò tó ń bọ̀. Now, ẹ wo tí arábìnrin kọ. In tó kọ, màá sọ tó ń respond sí, ká tó wá sọ tó ń kọ síta lórí Twitter lánàá. The world in the 14th century, what was happening in the world in the 13th century? Kí ni Europe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Báwo ló ṣe ń pè wá ní empire, Ìjẹ̀bú empire, kíní kan kingdom, Ọ̀yọ́ empire. Why tó jẹ́ pé strong nígbà yẹn, táwa di puppet lénìí, torí pa fẹ́ wà involved nínú one Nigeria. A lè má mọ gbogbo ilé tẹ́lẹ̀, torí kò yé wa. But now that we understand it, why a ṣe fi push for one Nigeria nígbà tí wọ́n ní 13th century? Gbogbo àlàárín tí mo fi wọ̀n orí aládé ni. Orí aládé yìí, mo ti sọ story ẹ̀ fún wa. Ẹ má bínú pé mo tún fẹ́ yàbàrà. Ife bronze, òun ni topic yẹn lórí BBC. So that tí bá kà fún yín, ẹ lè rí understanding kan tí mo sọ. Ní ṣe inquiry pẹ̀lú ọlọ́pàá ní UK, ìtàlẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà for freedom of information. Wọ́n fún mi láwọn kankan, wọ́n fún mi ní gbogbo tí mo béèrè. Lórí laptop mi nísìn, ó show exactly, but original one. Original ẹyọ kan, ó wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá ní UK bí ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. This is the way. But kó lè bá yé wa, ẹ mọ̀ pé I like BBC. This was posted June 26, 2022. The headline, fẹ́ni tó bá fẹ́ lọ reference ẹ̀, Nigerian Ife head. Ẹjọ́ torí Elédùmarè èyí tẹ́ ń wò mí lórí ti Kristi ní tẹ́ believe, lórí ti Muhammad ni. Báwo ni lè ṣe jẹ́ Nigerian head? Mo kí Abiodun George. Ta ló lè ṣàlàyé fún mi báwo ni kíní ṣe jẹ́ Nigerian head? This is the deceit and the lies. Ta ló rántí pé wọ́n sọ fún wa pé Mongo Park? Ta ló rántí? Ta ló mọ̀ tó ń pè ní Mongo Park? Ṣé bàbá ní Mongo Park ló found the River Niger níjọ́ náà lọ? Ìtààmù lánàá, tàtí wá mọ̀ nísìn, ẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣì ń disagree pé wọ́n Nàìjíríà kò mọ̀ tí understand ẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ta ṣì ń disagree ni mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. Mo kí ẹ Johnson. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún sọ again. Báwo ni ilé ṣe jẹ́ Nigerian head? Báwo ló ṣe relate mọ́ Nàìjíríà? This is what BBC posted on their website. One reason to say Nigeria, because there was an amalgamation of Yoruba people and the Fulani and the Hausa and the Igbos in 1914. Rather than call this a Yoruba head, Baba Professor Akito Itenikima to ever pè ní orí olókun, orí aládé ni, kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ orí olókun. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ọdún kan wà tó lọ display kìíní as an exhibition pẹ̀lú Ọọ̀ni tìjọ́ náà. Mo ní image yẹn lọ́wọ́, ó wà lórí archive mi. Many years back ni mo sọ yìí, kò ń ṣe recently o. In ten wo yìí, wọ́n kó ní collections wọ́n lọ exhibit ní UK. Picture yẹn wà nínú archive mi tí bá farabalẹ̀. But let's go with the information tó ṣì wà ní orí BBC. Kẹ́ lè rí irọ́ tí Britain tó ti pa fún wa for many years. Tó ti ṣe àkóbá àdábá fún gbogbo wa tó fi di pé lẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá ò ní 3,000 naira tó máa fi jẹun láàárọ̀ Sunday. I am not talking about 5,000 naira. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ lè ní 3,000. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, they lied to our fathers that Mungo Park discovered River Niger and they did not question the lies from the pit of hell. Ẹ ṣe gan ni sá. Wọ́n parọ́ pé Mungo Park. Tábà lọ, ẹ má bínú, àṣìmáde ọ̀rọ̀ bronze yẹn, àìtí kúrò lórí bọ́dà ibẹ̀ ni mo dúró lé lórí. Ẹ má pọ́njú, ìgbà yóò ṣe bí tẹ́ máa pọ́njú wá tẹ̀pínú ẹ má farabalẹ̀. Mungo Park tá à ń sọ yìí, Mungo Park yẹn mo kàn fi lọ wo ijó wo lọ bí Mungo Park kákọ̀ tẹ̀ fi wò Mungo Park. Yẹ́ wo lọ bí. Mungo Park was born in 1806. He died at 35 years old. A ṣì ń dárúkọ ẹ̀. Kí wá ní ìwúlò àfidàgbà títí di 70? Tọ́nà bá ní ànídàgbà dé 70, àníkárí nǹkan ṣe kílẹ̀ Yorùbá kọ́ má gbà mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. He died in Busa ní Nàìjíríà, ibẹ̀ ló kú sí. Kò dẹ̀ sí ọkọ̀ tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà ní 1806. Ẹ̀rí rán tó gbé kalẹ̀ sínú Wikipedia. Because gbogbo pé Nàìjíríà ṣẹlẹ̀ is in 1914. Mungo Park died. He was born on September 10, 1771 ní UK. Ó padà kú sí in tó ń pè ní either southwest or the north. Tó ń pè ní northern part. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà before 1914. These are the lives that they've taken away from us. Wọ́n ti dá gbogbo ẹ̀pọ̀ mọ́ra wọn. Tàbá wá ń sọ fún ọmọ Yorùbá lédè nísìnyí pé Mungo Park kan náà kan sọ yìí. Mungo Park was a Scottish explorer of West Africa. Báwo ni ọmọ tó bí ní September 1771 ṣe lè found the River Niger? Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi triple DRS mo kí ní gbogbo náà tí náà. Wọ́n ní èmi ti gbàgbé ní pé mo pè wọ́n ní British Bias Corporation, BBC. Ṣé ń tẹ́ ń follow mi? Ṣé ń fi ẹ̀mí bá lọ? Ẹ má gbàgbé bí ká ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Phone line open. Ìbéèrè wà ńbẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sẹ́yìn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí eléyìí, ká wá padà sórí Britain. Nigerian Ife aired why the UK police are holding a priceless sculpture and made inquiry about it with the London Metropolitan Police under freedom of information. They hardly gave me all the information I needed. Reason is known to them. Bóyá wọ́n rí pé iṣẹ́ tí mo gbé dání nísìn, or whatever the reason. And I'll tell you exactly when I made that information. October 14, it was a Saturday at 8:10 a.m. I wrote an email to the npcc.foi, company freedom of information.request. And my headline was Nigerian Ife Ed, why UK police are holding a priceless, and the chief editor of Koiki Media, registered and based in the United Kingdom. On FOI, company freedom of information, I would like to know all the information. This Nigerian Ife bronze held by the police after reading the on the BBC dated 26 June 2020 BBC. It stated that this Ife bronze is with the Metropolitan Police because this is a public interest, especially for the Yorubas indigenous peoples. that would like to know the reason why this sculpture is being held in the UK with the police. This sculpture is from the southwest of Nigeria called Ile-Ife. And below is one of our royal father, a head picture of Babayani. Money. Laptop, you should move on it, but I can show you briefly. I have too many things. Teba wo image Oba on the way. Oba you exhibit bronze in the United Kingdom many years ago. I pity when people say I feel defending Nigeria. I pity when people say they want to defend Nigeria. Mo rí pé àwọn kan àwọn yẹn wọn náà ti gba country ó ń dún ọba Adérẹ̀mí ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹgbà dáadáa kódà mo kàn rántí tàbádẹ táìpẹ Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ tìjọ́ náà lọ́hùn Adérẹ̀mí kákọ̀lọ́wọ́ yí ẹ̀ wo ni kẹ́ lè rí irọ́ báńsá Adérẹ̀mí. Mo rí pé àwọn ọmọ nítìrì àwọn èèyàn ara àwọn ọba ti wọnú TikTok kábàkàbà ló ń sọ mo wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò sí nǹkan kan tẹ́ pẹ́ ti gba country so ẹ má waste time ara yín ẹ ti gba country yẹn. Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ Adérẹ̀mí Adésọjí Adérẹ̀mí ọba Sir Titus Martins Adésọjí Adérẹ̀mí Atọ́bátẹ́lẹ̀ alias Adésọjí Adérẹ̀mí was born on the 15th of November 1889. He died on the 3rd of July 1980. Eshigoni Fayinteranmileti was a Nigerian political figure and a Yoruba traditional ruler as the Ọọ̀ni of Ife. He died in 1980. Now, as at that time, ni bàbá ìlọ present in the UK. When I made that request with the British police, this was their reply back to me. One replied back on the 21st of November 2023 at exactly 3:34 p.m. Orúkọ into reply Kinekon BB Karim at met.police.uk. This is the kind of how we want a Yoruba country. Nigeria back exists for another 20 years. Oh, they collect us ọlọ́pàá kó reply by. You know why? Because they are not. We won't need that material. We won't need that equipment. Kò ṣe pé wọ́n lè fund it, but the interest of gbogbo wa kò ṣe kankan náà. Interest in Yorùbá bó bá wọn Tinubu kó reform gbogbo ọlọ́pàá Nàìjíríà níjọ́ tó bá ti lọ wọ́n máa destroy reformation and they will pull it down. Mr. Olayinka Beloni, the same way they put the picture of those people sitting on the chair wearing suits when they did sewing machine eminent Eshigoni. When the BBC putting out history of the 1700, when the BBC itself was not established, kọ́ wá sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé ká lọ save Nigeria. Save Nigeria torí Tinubu. No, we don't want to. Interfere kí Tinubu ṣe ni pé kọ́kọ́ fún wa ní defense ká fi defend border wa kò fún wa níyẹn fún ọdún 4. Tinubu allow kó pa ọmọ Yorùbá on a daily basis. I play audio kan lóru àná láti bàbá ńlá ọlọ́pàá 4 ó wà lórí status mi tẹ́ bá ní nọ́mbà mi lọ wò. Oyinbọn pa wọ́n ní nílẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀jẹ́ ti sùn lọ ìlú tó ń tẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Wọ́n ní dear Olayomi Koiki, freedom of information request money for reference number here. I write in connection with your request for information which was received by the Metropolitan Police Service MPS on the 18th of October 2023. I note you seek access to the following information which is in Timobiri Law 1. I am sorry to inform you that we have not been able to complete our response to your request by the date originally stated because only days of board of them alone, maximum 21 days for majority to be in. Your request is still in progress. I will endeavor to get a response to you as soon as possible. May I apologize for any inconveniences caused. Should you have any further inquiries concerning this matter, please contact me by email, bbkarim. This is never going to happen in Nigeria. Let's go back to the article itself. Border. British police are keeping a stolen statue worth millions of dollars in their custody as a dispute raged between a Belgian antique dealer and a Nigerian museum over its ownership. Shall I phone briefly? Arákùnrin kan tó ń pè ní ọmọ Belgian antique dealers. Government tiẹ̀ nígbà téèyàn kan jí kínní àmọ́ ibi tó ti jí ní Nàìjíríà ó dé wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ jí ní 1980 according to Timomo Tokas Timotika. Eventually it end up in Belgium. Belgium government níbi táwọn ti ń ta àwọn antiques, governments around the world they sell different things. Wọ́n ta kínní ní less than €100. On the 24th of January 2017 was a cold, foggy day in London. At midday, John Axford and of the auctioneer Woolley and Wellis, in London, very prestige artifacts, was in his office in the upmarket Mayfair, waiting to meet a visitor from Belgium who wanted to show him a sculpture. Sculpture will often show a lay. He produced this particular beautiful piece to Mr. Axford. Right there and there, he decided to kini wa lara nkan tin wa, because what he reported as a stolen sculpture. It was a bronze cast head. Sherry bronze ni kini. Títí dọ̀la kò tí mo bá wọn bàbá ńlá wa àti ìyá ńlá wa bó ṣe produce ẹ̀. Kò tí sí technology o, as at the time don't produce àwọn kini. Títí di ọ̀la technology tèmi kò tí lè detect báwo ló ṣe build ẹ̀, báwo ló ṣe ṣe tó ní lábàá tó ní gbogbo ẹ̀ báyìí. Is a bronze. Òun ló wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá ní UK. Wọ́n ti seize ẹ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá. Now, ibi tí mo fẹ́ kẹrin kẹ́ka dìmú dáadáa nísìn. It was a bronze cast head which Mr. Axford. This again has to do with borders, because whoever stole it could come out of Nigeria and steal it. Níbi tó fi sí, mo kí Pastor Mo, ìyàwó Alájùrè Kókà, mo kí Bàbá wa Saheed, mo kí. Tó bá jẹ́ pé a ní border tó ń ṣiṣẹ́, kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n kì í jáde náà ní UK àìmọye àwọn olè ọtí àwọn robbery gidi. But because we have a porous border, they were able to steal this sculpture that belongs to Yoruba people, but in Nigeria, in the museum, whoever stole it now take it outside the world. This bronze cast, which Mr. Axford recognized as coming from Ile-Ife. Now, what do I break it down? Coming from Ile-Ife, a Yoruba kingdom. But ní title kìíní BBC sọ pé Nigerian Ife head. But nígbà tó ń kọ article yẹn lọ sísàlẹ̀, wọ́n wá ṣàlàyé ibi tí bronze yìí níbi tó ti wá nínú Nigeria tó ń pè ní Ile-Ife. Definitely they know that kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Nigeria. Because Nigeria kọ́ ló produce it. This is not a product of Nigeria. This is a product of àwọn ọmọ Odùduwà. Àwọn ọmọ ìran ọmọ aládé tí ọba Elédùmarè dáadáa. Ó dá wa ju òyìnbó lọ, ó dá wa ju Chinese lọ, ó dá wa ju gbogbo ẹ̀ tó wà lágbàáyé lọ. But a lè rí 3,000 naira fi jẹun lójúmọ́. Wọ́n ní King Belgium of Leopold led the Berlin Conference. Berlin. Now, what is today known as southwestern Nigeria? That means the BBC accepted pé lóòótọ́ kíní Ilé-Ifẹ̀ ló ti jáde Yoruba kingdom, but in today, kò sí Nigeria, kò ní sí kankan tó máa sọ pé in today wọ́n kọ́ ní in Yoruba land or Oduduwa land, Oduduwa kingdom. Ife Kingdom, or whatever we wanted to call it. This original Ife bronze head, of which only 20 péré ló kù láyé. In 10 wo lẹ́yìn mi, 20 péré ló kù. Nínú 20 yẹn, ẹyọ kan wà lọ́wọ́ Britain, tó wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá. They are thought to be about 700 years old. Now, how do you want to now defend this country? Don't go Nigeria. Bí orí àwọn kan bá tẹ̀ ń tẹ́lẹ̀ tó ti wá wake up nísìnyí, èyí tó kù tẹ́lẹ̀ say defend in Nigeria. Where do you want us to put this? Because if you are saying that Nigeria that is only 110 years, this sculpture, according to the information that we have, and táwọn náà rẹ̀kọ̀síta, is 700 years old. Ó dàgbà ju Nigeria lọ. Mú kí bàbá wa lé odò agbéwà o. They cast in thin metal with a great skill and are strikingly life-alike among the most magnificent sculpture ever made in sub-Saharan Africa. The most magnificent sculptures ever made in the sub-Saharan Africa. You know what to do, our Malade, our producer. Why to add the 2025? Ari 3,000 naira fi jẹun on a daily basis. To boss 1,000, between 90,000 every month. Or the support for Corona Nigeria. Ṣé à ń progress ni àbá ń padà sẹ́yìn jẹ́ ń gbé padà lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ Arẹwà kíkanjú. Being part of Nigeria has been a huge mistake for the Yoruba people. Bí a darapọ̀ mọ́ Nàìjíríà, àṣìṣe burúkú ni, bọ̀ kò ṣe fọ́tà wa. Britain ni mọ̀ pé tá bá dá dúró independently, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, older than Nigeria, in that way, older than Nigeria lọ, it's about 700 years old. 20 dẹ̀ ló kù láyé, nínú 20 ẹyọ kan wà lọ́wọ́ Britain. Wọ́n wá ń bèrè pé being part of Nigeria has been a huge mistake. Ṣé pé reason tí kì í ṣe bó ṣe káwà lára pé èèyàn sùn ní. Lọ nítorí pé àwọn tí wọ́n gbé sí látẹ̀kàn, ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ disturb wọn, sometimes you just have to let them do what they are doing. Wọ́n ní àwọn program tán wò lórí TV, mo jẹ́ kó parí tó fẹ́ ṣe. Kò tó di pé mo wá come live. Ó yẹ kí n lọ sùn, kí ni mo ń ṣe nísìnyí? I'm not doing this because of anything, but because the pain pé entire mọ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ táwa mọ̀ nísìn, ó jẹ́ kó máa ká èmi àti ẹ lára ju bó ṣe ń ká wa lára lọ nísìn. But kò ká ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ lára because interfejẹ là ń wá, but interlejẹ tó máa yó gbogbo wa, ó wà lórí ilẹ̀ wa, but àwọn tó fẹ́ jẹ́ ká gbalẹ̀ yẹn, àwọn ni politicians. And Tinubu is number one. Láti Tinubu ó wá sọ̀rọ̀ gọ́ọ̀mù. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún Tinubu. Divide ìlú yìí kólúkàlùkù máa bá tiẹ̀ lọ. Àwọn kan ní ká dúró kó ṣe títí di 2027 going further. Bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé òun ló ní ẹ̀mí ẹ̀, àgbàdúrà kún fún bọ̀ ṣé òun ló ní ẹ̀mí ẹ̀. Because àwọn tó ń bá tayò bọ́ ṣe fi gbẹ̀mí ẹ̀ làwọn sáré ẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́. Bàbá mi Ọláyínká ní ask the Awo of the 1957 when the North said they were not ready for independence, they said they will wait. Being part of Nigeria has been a huge mistake for the Yoruba people. It crippled their progress and set them back at least 100 years from the former glory. Our time producing combined. Also, it is one of the most magnificent. The meaning of magnificent. About Google the word magnificent. About Kasari, the English dictionary. Meaning. When you use the word
magnificent,
extremely beautiful, elaborated, impressive. We are meant to be people that Tobariwa, they are jáde. Mo sì mi ní táwọn bá dé London back then in the days tó bá wọ London. Bó tẹ̀ gbọ́ pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ló dé gbà yẹn. Ẹnu ọ̀nà lọ ti máa ń stamp visa. Ẹ wá òbí ta délé ni. Àwọn àpèrè àwa náà mọ̀ ọ̀nà Máládé. Ibi wá ń pa àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ rí 3,000 naira fi jẹun. Àti wà níbi ebi ń pa wá o, ìyà ń jẹ wá o. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní 700 years old kìíní. This magnificent, meaning magnificent, extremely beautiful, extremely elaborated, impressive. Níjọ́ tó dẹ̀ ń build kìíní táwọn bàbá wa ṣe kìíní táwọn wọ̀nyí. Kò tí ì sí technology ta ní lẹ́nu. Àwa ní technology lẹ́nu. Ta fi ń bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ta fi ń communicate. Àwọn kan tó wá fi fàrin àjò yẹn wá sísàlẹ̀ torí Nàìjíríà. Ṣé orí yín pé? Ṣé mọ tẹ́ ń ṣe? Ṣé ẹ̀ ń fà wá síwájú ni àbẹ́ ń fà wá sẹ́yìn? Ṣé ẹ̀ ń fà wá síwájú àbẹ́ ń fà wá sẹ́yìn? Ṣé rí pé this is something that tá bá fẹ́ kú torí tá à ń ṣe ó wọ́tẹ̀. So that kí ìran tó ń bọ̀ kó má ever máa tọrọ 3,000 naira lórí social media. Àwọn tó ti wá mọ̀ yìí dáadáa, àwọn wá ní go and support my page, I will give you 5,000 naira. Ó mọ̀ pé wàá rí 3,000 yọ owó oúnjẹ ọjọ́ kan. Ẹni tó ní kó support page òun pẹ̀lú 5,000 kò lè máa fún ní 5,000 yẹn ní on a daily basis. Ẹ̀ẹ̀kan lọ́dún ni wọ́n náà wọ́n ṣe give away. Ìjọ́ wo ni wọ́n rí ọmọ òyìnbó ní UK tó ń fún àwọn èèyàn lówó pé kó fi wá support page wọn? You can see why some of us are saying ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń fà yìí tá bá ti ready àìtí ready because àìtí mọ orí èèyàn tá jẹ́ tá bá mọ orí èèyàn tá jẹ́ ni èèyàn kọ́kọ́ ló máa sọ fún wa pé nǹkan báyìí la máa lọ ṣe àìtí mọ orí èèyàn tá jẹ́ torí àfikún ẹ̀wòyà wa tó kú ní àná tí mo sọ yẹn àìmọye ẹ̀mí tó ti jábọ́ tó ti lọ àìtí ready. À ń fi sentiment àfi ń ṣe movement because we don't want to die. Ẹ̀rọ kò easy fèmí náà níbi tí máa ti máa pa pound sterling. Do you know the equivalent of pounds to naira? Mo ní the basic job ní UK láti ṣe òun ni pé lọ ṣiṣẹ́ cleaning. Kò nídìí ọmọwé ṣo lè fọbọ́ ṣo lè nulẹ̀ ambos kò ń ṣerú àwa tàti gbé níbẹ̀ for 27 years. Torí ìwọ tó jẹ́ student tó bá student visa wa ó yàtọ̀ sí status tèmi. Èmi ní right láti ṣe business. I can be a consultant. Àwa abandon gbogbo yẹn. Àwa ní kí gbogbo àjọ jà. Ẹ̀yin wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu, ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ Sanwó-Olú, ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún, ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀wọ̀ àwọn gọ́ọ̀nà méjèèjì àti past àti present wọ́n ṣòṣì bí ẹran aṣẹ́wó. Ìkan wó building, ìkan ní ẹ̀wọ̀ Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún àti Gbénga Daniel. Hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì ó dáwó kò ń ṣe political. Kátẹ̀ sọ pé ó ń bínú Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún. Ṣé báwọn kan lọ́wọ́ employ sí ilé iṣẹ́ yẹn? Nígbà tẹ́ bá ti wó hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì ibi táwọn èèyàn ti ń ṣe tó ti ń jẹ nínú kéékèèké tó ń wọlé àwọn èèyàn tó ní ṣe Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún máa employ àwọn tí ó lé kúrò ní ibi tó ti mú oúnjẹ wọn jẹ. This is the reason why we gotta decide. Ọmọ Amẹ́ríkà ò lè wá bá wa decide tá gbé dání. Ọmọ UK ò lè wá bá wa decide. Àwọn náà ní problem tí wọn. So mo ti fún yín ní that part. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí ọ̀rọ̀ tá a ṣe ń bá bọ̀. Ibi tí mo fẹ́ mú gangan mo fẹ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ page woman yẹn. Something is going to change between the UK and the European Union ní October ọdún yìí. Obaseki. Bọ̀. Mo kẹ́yìn wa. If we don't fight and end this, it's going to be a disaster for every one of us. if we don't fight to end it, it will be a terrible disaster. My Facebook doesn't bring all the pages. Mama, why don't she be enjoyment time? For me, I'm on the Monty Machisi in Lati. Bí a tèmi nìkan lè ló máa ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bí àtàwọn tó kò kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Because tí mo fẹ́ mú ìdí sí mo ti posted lórí timeline ó yẹ kí n kọ lọ sórí timeline mi padà kí n rí but it's not bringing everything on my timeline. I don't know why. So something is definitely not right on my page. All right, let's Google it and do it this way. Changes within UK and EU borders. Yeah, that's the beauty of technology. The UK and the European Union. Ẹ máa gbọ́ bíbá yóò ẹ mọ̀ pé orí bọ́ọ̀dù là ń sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ lórí mo fẹ́ ka mí yẹ́nì tó tí mo bí yín lọ yẹn mo kàn gbé wa dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ibi tá a ṣe lọ gbọ́n padà lórí borders. It's an advantage. Nigerian politicians have never cared about us. They've never cared about any one of us. And they will never care about us. Àwa tí ara ń ta jẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù àwa la máa dìde. Okay, somebody come and tell us Lagos is no man's land. Can you imagine such insult? And because they were able to come to our borders, we gave them the opportunity to travel to our borders. The same people, talk about in the UK, in Belgium, in Holland, they dare not say such. Now, something is going to take place last October. Fẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá ní British passport ẹ̀yin ọlọ́run ti kẹ́ tètè travel ẹ̀ ti rí British passport nígbà ẹ̀ farabalẹ̀ ká gbọ́ bíbá ó máa wúlò fẹ́yìn. The United Kingdom and the European Union. Now, ìyàn mélòó ló mọ̀ tá bá sọ pé EU, European Union? How many people knows what we mean by that? So what I'm going to do quickly is màá recap. How many people knows the meaning of European Union? EU. EU. Everybody knows the UK. But how many people knows European Union? Especially in Taiwan, in Nigeria. Emma Fisher wada. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ sọ pé no. Because mo fẹ́ fún yín ní ètò mi so that a lè yé wa. Ẹ lè wà níbo mi tẹ́. Sorry, tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ program mi, àwọn tẹjọ́ ń bá lọ tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ lè máa wà ẹ capable láti defend ọ̀kan tẹ bá ń sọ. All right, let's go this way. There are 28 countries. Ìlú 28 ló ń bẹ lábẹ́ EU. 28 countries. Nínú 28 countries yẹn tí bá sọ fún yín pé ìmí nínú wọn kò tẹ̀jẹ́ kó máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí Lagos State. Lagos State mi ò mọ̀ tí sọ Ọ̀yọ́, Ògùn, and some of them are not even up to the population of Lagos State. Yet they have a very strong borders. And ni wọ́n fi sọ fún UK tó ti kúrò pé má rò pé tó ti kúrò tó bá ti di October 12 ọdún yìí àwọn ọmọ ẹ tó ní British passport àwọn kankan báyìí máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn. Ìyẹn mo fi sọ fún yín ìyẹn mo sì sọ pé tí bọ́dà wa bá ṣe wà bó ṣe wà nínú Nàìjíríà tẹ̀lé náà fi kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà ẹ máa kódà ẹ fẹ́ struggle ẹ fẹ́ lákẹ́ tó rí 2,000 naira láti fi jẹun. Ẹ ṣe gan ni bàbá wa Ṣẹ́gun Ògúnmọ́lá wọ́n ní the unification of most of European countries as a body just like bá ṣe ní African Union. But jẹ́ wá mọ̀ pé nínú àwọn European Union yẹn àwọn ìlú kan wà nínú ẹ̀ bí méjì mẹ́ta tó bá kó mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta papọ̀ kò tẹ̀ tí tó Lagos State. Àwọn ìlú wo ló wà lábẹ́ ká sọ kíákíá. The European countries are Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Republic of Cyprus. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ̀ rọra mú Cyprus nìkan mú mọ̀ yẹn ní off-head tí n bá tẹ̀ mọ́ àwọn tó kù. Kí ni population ni wọ́n ní Cyprus? Fún ọdún sọ pé ó fẹ́ country. I pity Yoruba people. The population of Cyprus, as at last year, what if one is doing in 2024 is 1.3 million. Ìlú mélòó lè máa yọ kúrò nínú ẹ̀ nínú Àlèmọ́ṣọ́ local government. Ṣé rí pé Nàìjíríà yìí time waster ni. Cyprus, officially the Republic of Cyprus, is an island country in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea, situated in West Asia. It is culturally identity. Kila South Africa Yoruba nation. One culture, one people, one language. Eshigoni Babawa. I'm not to that Malta. The fatality rate is 1.39 births per woman. The GDP is 3.4 annual. The gross domestic product is 36.33 billion US dollars. Population is 1.3 million. And this same ìlú yìí nísìn, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá fi lọ gbé níbẹ̀. Àtúnkọ́ èdè, torí mo believe in English. Let's fall back to some of the other countries. Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, Latvia. Latvia. Again, the population of Latvia is 1.8 million. You don't want Yoruba nation. Oh, for the Dua Republic. So you want 60 million people to struggle for another 4 years to Tinubu. Till end the government. Níbo ni Latvia ti jáde? How did Latvia gain independence? Latvia gained independence following the collapse of the Russian Empire after World War I, and the subsequent Latvia War of Independence. The country declared independence on November 18, 1918. The same country, Yoruba people about 100 million. Okay. The program. So she water no, about 100, about 70, or 70 like the latter rock. 70 and 60 million are suffering. Latvia, Nigeria will be shut up. She will do my point. She has to suffer Sojo, she has to suffer this. She might come out one that way. To repeat emotion, Russia Empire will collapse. Nínú ẹni Latvia ti jáde. Tó bá rí visa Latvia lálẹ́ tó bá lè jàpá lọ síbẹ̀. Bó máa rántí pé tó bá dé Latvia ó máa sọ èdè. Kò tó lè gbé láàrin wọn. Because n tó fi identify ara wọn nìyẹn èdè. Wọ́n ní èdè tí wọ́n tó ń sọ. Àwa kọ́ English, ọkọ̀ máa wà. They are going to speak in English. When we are not Englishman, we are not English woman. Latvia gained its independence following the collapse of Russia. Yoruba, Oduduwa, Biafra, Hausa, Ijo will all become a nation after the collapse of Nigeria. When is what everybody is just waiting to know. Nígbà wo ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀? Bọ̀ pé kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn má jẹ́ kí wòlíì kankan sọ fún ẹ pé kò lè ṣẹlẹ̀ because Nàìjíríà Ọlọ́run kọ́ ló dá Nàìjíríà mo sọ yín tipẹ́tipẹ́. Má mú ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run pé Ọlọ́run ló dá Nàìjíríà kò sí kankan tó jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run ló dá Nàìjíríà. Man made ní Nàìjíríà, Lugard ló create Nàìjíríà. Kò dẹ̀ consult Ọlọ́run tí wọ́n sìn tó bá jẹ́ pé ó fi máa fi Ọlọ́run fi géèjì Nàìjíríà, Lugard kì í ṣe Christian, kò dẹ̀ ṣe Muslim, kò believe in anything. Kò tún gbọ́ yẹn dáadáa nísìn. Torí some of you ẹ máa argue Ọlọ́run ṣé nígbà tí Lugard máa kó Nàìjíríà papọ̀ tó pé Nàìjíríà ṣó sọ fún ẹ pé òun practice Christianity? Ilé tó gbé ní UK kó tó kú èdè débẹ̀ kò jìnnà sí Knightsbridge. Nigeria is a man-made. Let's go back quickly. It's coming up to 2 hours to the program. Lithuania, Luxembourg, bàbá wa ti dárúkọ Malta lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣe gan ni ìmọ̀yán ìtàn láéláé. Kákọ̀ sáré wo Malta náà, population ní kíákíá ká má pẹ́ lórí ẹ̀. Àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ pé 1 million. Gbogbo population Malta, ìlú kan wọ́n pè ní Malta, kò ń ṣe Montina. Malta, ìwọ tó ń sọrí kalẹ̀, wàhálà lẹ fẹ́ dálẹ̀ o, ẹ fẹ́ dọ́gbọ́n sílẹ̀ o. Tó bá fún ẹ ní visa Malta, sá lọ síbẹ̀. Ok? Mo kàn lè fún ẹ pé kò sá lọ, èmi ọmọ bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe, tó bá rí visa Malta gbà, sá lọ síbẹ̀. Tó bá débẹ̀, ìtọ́ bá ń ṣe níbẹ̀ máa bá wọn ṣe. Malta is an archipelago in the central Mediterranean between Sicily and the North African coast. It is a nation. Ṣùgbọ́n kò tó pé ìlú 500,000. Ìyẹn wá dá fún ìtẹ́ máa sọ pé Kóìkì àwọn ẹ̀yà kéékèèké tó wà láàrin Nàìjíríà báwo la ṣe máa fọwọ́ sí? Let them be a country of their own. If Malta is a nation of less than 600,000 people, don't come and argue stupidly if you don't know. Mo ní bíbá ẹni máa ti yọ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ kúrò lára Nàìjíríà. Torí ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ tó attach mọ́ Nàìjíríà torí Jésù máa kúrò. Torí Jésù ní kò ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà. Ànábì Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ní kọ̀ọ̀kan ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà. Mo kí àwọn staff wa. They defend in Nigeria. How did Malta gain independence? Báwo ló ṣe gba independence wọn? Àwọn kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ movement ó jẹ́ kí brain mi máa tick pé àìsàn nísìn àní 70 million bàbá wa kan dé nísìn wọ́n ní láíláí àjù 70 million lọ ẹ má pè wá ní 70 million we are 100 million. Báwo ni àwa 100 million ṣe wá ń jìyà? Ṣọ́lọ́run dá wa pé ká wá jìyà ni. Malta gained its independence from the United Kingdom. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣe mo sọ fún ẹ pé tó bá ń wá ìlú tó ní hypocrisy tó wà láyé jù òun ni Britain. Britain wọ́n sọ fáwa ìran 100 million pé ká lọ dúró títí di 2075 ní Nàìjíríà máa fi dá. I will be about 97 years old. That is if I'm still alive. Ṣorí bọ́rọ̀ yẹn kò sink well pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí Britain ń sọ. Britain sọ fún ẹ̀yà tí Ọlọ́run dá tó create tí Britain gan lè create. Malta tí gbogbo ìlú wọn. You can see why fighting for this is worth everything. Ẹ ṣe kẹ́kẹ́ of course wọ́n tẹ̀lé kí Luxembourg. Gbogbo ìlú yìí tí mo ń dárúkọ bó ṣe kéré mọ́ yẹn tó bá tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ra ticket kó lọ sí Murtala Mohammed Airport kó náà lọ sí Malta kó má ní visa. Ọ̀rọ̀ kó gba inú igbó kó gba orí omi kó wá dá sáàrin ibẹ̀ kó wá fi wọlé. Bó ṣe kéré tó yìí Malta yẹn bó ṣe kéré tó yìí ó lè pa gidi wọnú ìlú yẹn. Ọmọ why? Because ó ní border. Fáwọn tó ní British passport àwọn airline kan wà tó máa ń gbàgbé kọjá láti UK ó cheap. But tó o bá ní transit visa wọ́n bí ẹ̀dá kó lọ ra ticket tó fi gbàgbé kọjá bó ṣe kéré tó yìí ni mo sọ. Malta bó ṣe kéré tó yìí àwọn airline kan wà tó bá fẹ́ travel tó ní British passport ni mò ń sọ, tó bá ní British passport ó ní transit visa o torí gbà ilẹ̀ lórí máa ní àwọn èèyàn wa ẹ̀ ń gbọ́rọ̀ dáadáa àmọ́ bí nǹkan máa ń wà létí wa tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ níbí báyìí. Àwọn kan wà ní UK máa ń sọ fún yín kò ń ṣe gbogbo ẹni tó ń gbé ní UK ló ní British passport. Ó wá fi lọ sí Malta àbí ó wá fi travel ó wá rí ticket tó cheap ó wá farabalẹ̀ ó kọ̀ wá òkè Malta. You can end up not being taken from the airport. That's in London. Malta gained its independence. Britain. Into ṣe gbígbà wọn pẹ̀lú àwọn àti Yorùbá. Tó o bá jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá kó lọ ní wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́, ó lè mú immunity gidi wá lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Bí nǹkan tàbí ráńfààní kékeré yìí. Báwo ni Malta ṣe gba independence in 1964, 4 years after Nigeria was created? Táwa wá ṣe struggle ní sí pàtẹ́ pull out, àwa lọ sọ fún Britain ní October last year. Láfẹ́ lọ. Hello. Please stop the real listen the global history in my head. Yeah, okay. Àwọn kan mọ̀ tí mò ń sọ yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá mọ̀. Malta the independence won in 1964 September 21, 1964, 4 years after the fake Tory election against Babawolowo. Lancaster House in 1957, 1958. Nígbà tó máa di 1959 tá fi lọ campaign Babawolowo lọ káàkiri ó délé Haúsá rí pé èrò sí ń bẹ̀ àwọn la máa win election. Britain tó mọwọ́ yí tó bá náà tó ń yíwèé tó bá náà tó ń ṣe 419 láyé Britain ló kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Gbogbo olúwọlé nǹkan kan tẹ́ máa dárúkọ yẹn Britain ló kọ́ wa àwọn ọlọ́mọ bọ́ ṣe ń yíwèé. Babawolowo wa ní ó yá campaign ó wá ṣe election in 1959. Babawolowo wa ń jókòó pé a máa win àṣẹ Britain ti yí result in 1959. So tẹ́ bá wá ń sọ pé Tinubu máa rig election òun kọ́ ló máa kọ́kọ́ rig election. Britain ló ti kọ́. Britain rigged the first election in Nigeria in 1959. Ìdógbò adédáwálé wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé báwo kọ́ ṣe rí ìgẹ̀ ọ̀nà ọ̀rọ̀ fi gbà rí ìgẹ̀ yẹn lẹ́ máa bí mí. Wọ́n change the sensor wọ́n fún àwọn northerners má bínú pé ó wà blurry lórí YouTube. Wọ́n change the sensor wọ́n sọ pé ilẹ̀ Haúsá and Haúsá rẹ̀ sí mọ́ wọ́n tètè sọ fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá pé kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Haúsá mọ́. Ṣẹlẹ̀ báwọn máa ń pè wọ́n ní Haúsá kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Haúsá mọ́. Everywhere is Fulani. Ó pẹ́ ká tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ̀ ní sí pé kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Haúsá land because Usman Dan Fodio tá à ń torí ẹ̀ sọ pé ká kúrò tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ pé ẹ̀ fi kúrò ó ti gbalẹ̀ Haúsá yẹn ní 1804. Wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn wọ́n jalè wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Sultan of Sokoto ọmọ Usman Dan Fodio ni. Why are we like this? Kí ló dé tí ìran ètò tí Ọlọ́run wá dáadáa àwa wá sùn àwa ń jó Barrister à ń jó Wasiu à ń jó Tantala à ń jó Pasuma à ń jó this à ń jó that àwa túra lẹ̀ kí ibò wọlé sí wa rárá nígbà rí bá ti sùn hospitality wa yẹn ó ti pa wá wọ́n á wọlé àwa wá sá káàkiri èmi sá lọ ìwọ náà sá lọ ìwọ náà fi sá lọ tó bá lè sá lọ èmi ní kó má jẹ́ kẹ́ni kankan sọ pé kó má sá tó má tàkó tó bá lè japa má jẹ́ kẹ́ni bọ̀dì lábúrò sọ fún ẹgbẹ́ àbúrò dùn japa tó bá lè japa wọn ni ẹ̀yẹ kò má travel àkókò sọ pé kó má travel yẹn sọ fún ọmọ wọn lè gbà tó bá lè sá lọ sẹ́ni ìwẹ̀ pọ́blẹ́mù tiẹ̀ nìkan nìyẹn òpin ẹ̀yẹ kò má sọ fún ẹgbẹ́ kó má travel kò sí kó ní media if you can japa 1998 èmi ti japa 19 japa fi lọ sùn àti ti ṣe ní kíákíá mo lè fi dẹ́yìn dúró tó láàárọ̀ church láàárọ̀ la triple there is decoration for us Malta là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ nísìn bàbá wa abc Mr. Koiki you are 100% right Malta immigration are more strict than Italian ẹni tó fẹ́ gbàbẹ̀ kọjá ó pè lórí Mr. Koiki ó ní mo fẹ́ ra ticket mo nílò owó ló lọ ó dárúkọ ó wá náà rí ticket mo ní tó British passport ó wò ní báwo ló ṣe wá fẹ́ gbàbẹ̀ kọjá ó máa ní the transit visa ìlú tó pé 1 million wọ́n dẹ́rù àwọn èèyàn pẹ̀lú border control àwa táwa 10 million ẹ bá ṣiṣẹ́ border wá sílẹ̀ tó bá wá kọjá ní sẹ́mẹ̀ àwa gbégi báyìí tó bá wá ń bọ̀ bóyá open your boat bá ṣe àṣìbà ẹ̀yà go pass ẹ wo standard wa between Benin and Nigeria and the standard border control gbogbo ta ní níbẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lọ a parí program yìí àtúgbàdàbọ̀ níjọ́ mi àti wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lórí border 8-point agenda Tinubu gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la ṣe máa kó padà wá. Kí ni changes tí mo ń bọ̀? The UK and the European Union are ẹ̀ràn pé ìyẹn la fi lọ sí countries tó wà lábẹ́ EU kí n padà sórí in tó fi ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan lọ́któbà. The United Kingdom and the European Union àti mọ̀ wọ́n nísìnyí Malta ìlú 500,000 ta ló tún rántí Latvia 1.3 million ta ló tún rántí tí o ta bá sọ pé EU ẹ̀ máa rántí pé wọ́n kọ̀ kóra wọn jọ together but ta bá ní ká máa yọ àwọn òbí yẹn lẹ́yẹ kankan ìmí inú wọn kò tó ṣòwò local government bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún ẹ. The UK and the European Union are implementing new border control measures affecting traveling between the two countries. These include the EU entry and exit system, EES, and the UK Electronic Travel Authorization (ETA), with the goal àníyàn kan kó tó náà fẹ́ gbẹ̀rún dúró ó kọ́kọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ láníyàn tó dáa. Bó bá lọ sí church láàárọ̀ látàníyàn ọba da àdúrà ò lè gbà ìrọ́nupa ọkọ̀ waste time rẹ̀ ni. You're bloody wasting your time. Ó fi lọ church láàárọ̀ la ó ti bú lébú ẹ̀ nílé ó wá lọ gbàdúrà ní ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì. You must not go to the church. Òun náà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe àníyàn ọ̀dà òun róbi sí ọmọ ẹ̀dá kejì tí ọba Elédùmarè dá. Àwọn láìkì bàbá yẹn ó lè ní. Ṣé mo jí pàǹtì mọ́mí ẹ̀? Èèyàn mọ àlè èyí tí wọ́n ti fìyà báyìí ní jẹ́ àlèfẹ́ bu onímọ̀ lórí platform wà níbí báyìí ìyá ti mú yín ó lè rí 3,000 bí mi ṣe wà báyìí nísìn mo ṣì ní owó kékeré pound sterling pounds ó ṣì wà nínú account mi kò pọ̀ kékeré náà ní o tí bá ṣiṣẹ́ wá sí náírà máa ṣì jẹun fún 1 month bó ṣe kéré yẹn kò ń ṣe owó tó pọ̀ kò ń ṣe 1,000 pounds kò ń ṣe 500 pounds kékeré náà ní o. Ìwọ ní sí òṣìṣẹ́ ogun ọ̀kadà gbogbo díẹ̀ gbóná orí bàbá yẹn orí ta bá délé a máa fomi wẹ́tẹ̀ pọ̀ wá ní ó ní ẹ̀pọ̀n gbóná títí ta bá wá délé a máa fomi wẹ́tẹ̀ ní. Mo pè yàn kan lénìí ó náà mo máa lọ sanwó skul kí ni kí n ṣe sí yẹn ṣé mi mọ̀ ń lọ sí skul láyé bàbá ó lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn olè yìí gbogbo wọn lọ sí skul ọ̀fẹ́ mo ní kí n ṣe mo ní ìbí ẹnu mi gbẹ ayé táwọn politician fi yàjẹ́ wá nìyẹn tó jẹ́ kéèyàn máa wá bó ṣe fẹ́ sanwó ọmọ tó kò tí wọ primary ọmọ nursery tó yẹ kó fún ní access kó lọ sí school wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ kàwé wọ́n fẹ́ kẹ́ wà lábẹ́ àwọn kọ́ máa rán yín iṣẹ́ ọ̀yà lọ bá wa pọnmi wá bá wa fọ mọ́tò ẹni tó yẹ kó kì máa wà violent tí a ti náà ṣe violent wọn lọ́dọ̀ wa nígbà yìí bó bá wọn kò gbọ́ bó bá wọn kò máa gbọ́ tí gbogbo abá rẹ́dì àmọ́ àmọ́ tá máa ṣe àìtí rẹ́dì àwọn kan ti bọ́dà wọn pa wọ́n ti pa wọ́n ní the reason tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ dá engagement ilẹ̀ ní October 12 ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. The EES is scheduled to be phased in over 6 months starting from October 12 with full implementation in April. Ó gbé British passport dání má lọ ṣe tán ní kò ṣe kó wá ló fẹ́ lọ sí Italy officially solidate tó lórí British passport wà á rí pé wọ́n máa turn it down láti airport. The reason for that is to enhance security and manage migration. Ìyẹn làwọn bá ń ṣe tàfàlà. Àwọn kan wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ wá ní ká dákẹ́ ìbò tó dá kankan. Ẹ jẹ́ àtọ̀sùn mo kí n tèmi. Ṣé ó wọ̀ kébẹ́? Ó ṣáà ti yé yín. Tó bá ti yẹ ìgbéyà pé ọkọ̀ ló yẹ kó jókòó sí. Ìwé àwọn ṣe jáde sókè o. Ìwé àwọn ṣe content tó ń dẹ́rìn báyọ̀. Ó máa ń jẹ́ kó rí èèyàn kó ronú pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá máa ń jà fún. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àbọ̀mọ̀ Fúlàní sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn afi insecurity àwọn afi tàfàlà. Gbogbo àwọn gọ́ọ̀nà wọ̀ sún state wọn. Tábà pé àpapọ̀ tó bá yín sí ó lè wà l'Àbújá. Ó dà parí ilé kẹyìn wà l'Amẹ́ríkà. Gbogbo none of them has any good intention for Yoruba people. Kìnìún ló ń dọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ mi iná yìí ti pọ̀ jù. Mo kójú mi dé ṣáàpù dáadáa ni. Tábàárẹ̀ tó láti kòtò tí mo wọ̀ omi ta kò tí ọ̀ àwọn ọgbẹ́ sí mi lára ṣe láìkẹ̀ ẹ̀dá wà l'Amẹ́ríkà ẹ̀ ti rí bó ṣe wà yẹn. Máa ń gbé ilé lọ́wọ́ mi o èmi náà tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ ni mo ṣe wá láti London ni. Bọ̀ ilé ìjọba fẹ́ kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀ràn ní star fẹ́ wọ́n sápò lọ́pàá Amẹ́ríkà máa ń lákàpọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Omi ta kò tí ọ̀ ẹ lọ sórí Instagram. Mo kí màmá tó bí mi, mo kí àwọn ìyàwó mi, mo kí àwọn ọ̀dọ́, mo kí gbogbo àwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ibi tá a máa rí mọ ní àṣálẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ṣókí lọ́bọ̀gé tó bá dénú àdòdìndì. Nobody gives you freedom. Freedom ò ń ṣe tán tà lójú ẹgbàá. You work towards it and you fight for it. Orin ẹ̀ la máa sọ. Koiki Media bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èmi náà lọ fi gbẹ̀lélẹ̀. Security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò jẹ́ wa lógún. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ti dá pa o níjẹ̀bú báyìí nísìn. Ọlọ́pàá ò ṣe pé àti tilẹ̀kùn burglary everywhere pàkà gbogbo òun kí ló lè tó yìí. Wọ́n ní ọ̀gá. Agbọ́dọ̀ security yìí náà wà important. Ọkọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ kì í lè dé. Tí nǹkan kan bá tẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ní sí ládùúgbò tó wà. Ṣé tó bá pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá ṣọ́ máa jáde fìyẹn lọ sùn. Tí nǹkan kan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ládùúgbò ẹ̀ ní sí ṣó lè pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá. Torí Idris bàbá mi Idris àti Triple D tó wà London táwọn bá pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá 8 minutes. Ṣé táwọn náà bá pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá ṣọ́ máa dé? Ṣé kò ní sọ pé kò sí ponú mọ́tò àwọn ọlọ́pàá bọ́n? Security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó ṣe kókó. All right, good night.